Hello, Earth humans and YouTube viewers. I am Blog the Pale, Shipwa Katu, Aha Kota, Shoto, Human English. I am Blog the Pale. I am the cook and quartermaster for the Captain Blocks and the crew of the Bagnak. The Bagnak is a ship of legend, and my captain has asked me to cook human food for our guests. So I will be learning to cook human food. And for this, I have decided to cook something simple that occurs in many cultures. But on Earth, it is called oatmeal. Our courier has delivered this large box of whole grain rolled oats. They're from Quaker. This human here has apparently makes these food, and from the looks of it, they have cooked the food and they've added these fruits and vegetables. And it said oatmeal can help reduce cholesterol. I'm not familiar with cholesterol. So cholesterol. Okay. Anyway, apparently beautiful humans eat this food, or is food to make humans beautiful. So we'll be cooking this today. In order to cook food such as this, we must first have water, and we will bring it to a boil. It is customary amongst my people to gather around the water as it boils and tell stories. I have this human cooking device. It appears to be malfunctioning. Well, I have the engineer, there is an indicator light here. My engineer was to hook up an electrical connection so that I could power this device from the Bagnak's core source. Let me find out what's wrong. I believe I've fixed the problem. Let's see. Yes, the light has come on. Now we'll turn this to, what's that, Human English. I've turned this dial to max 5. On the human heating device, I have a container here with water in it. It is pure water from a distant comet that we usually collect our water from various places. Various comets, depends. So what we'll do is bring this water to a boil. As per my custom, I've mentioned I am Blog the Pale. Amongst my people, I am considered small and very pale. I do not have very many economic opportunities, as the jobs for such small persons as myself are very limited. However, I am happy to be part of the crew of the Bagnak. The Bagnak is a legendary spaceship. Most people and cultures throughout the galaxy have heard of the Bagnak. I do not know the legend on Earth, but Earth as we see it today, it does not have very many spaceships, only a few, and they do not go very Bagnak is a legend. And Captain John Wayne Locks is also a legend. He is the one that brought forth the renaming and conversion of the Bagnak from its original design. Oh, the human heating device here, I can feel the warmth from it. It does feel very nice. On the Bagnak, sometimes often it is very cold. We have a large chunks of section of ship is for cold storage. We also keep our main cannon ammunition is also kept up, stored cold. We do have warm places along the Bagnak. By its core, it is very warm. It's so warm one cannot approach it. Similar to this device, the core glows red like this. So I had our engineer rig a power source, an electric power source, and I had forgotten that it had to be plugged in. That was the problem. So I have it plugged in now, and it appears to be working good. I see small bubbles forming. Soon this water will come to a boil. As I mentioned, I quite enjoy being the cook and quartermaster for the Bagnak. It is a great privilege. I'm certainly not worthy of such privilege, and my family would not believe me if I were to tell them. For it's more likely that someone such as myself would be cleaning a stable or otherwise task of cleaning up after other humans, because that is the only tasks that are available to small people such as myself. And to be allowed to cook for others, that is something I had not even dreamed of. On my world, I would never have such an opportunity. But on the Bagnak, I have learned to cook many foods, and this is why I look forward to the cooking of human foods. Some of our crew have been humans, but we occasionally lose crew members, so we have to recruit. And Bagnak recruits are all voluntary. I remember when I was recruited, but that is a story for another day. Today, we're just making oatmeal, the first human food that I've made. And I see the vapors coming from the water. I remember in my youth that we would gather around the boiling water, and I was never allowed to tell much for stories. And also I did not lead a very exciting life. Ooh, there are now bubbles. Bubbles coming to the surface. When this comes to a roaring boil, I will add the oatmeal, and then I will stir it. I need to get a spoon. So, we have our boiler boiling now. And to this, I will add the oatmeal. And give it a stir. The package instructions stated that this should be cooked for a period of 1 minute. We do not use 1 minute. On my world on Bagnak, we use a different time system. This would be 3 krotos. 3 krotos is not very long. One can easily count that. And if we listen to the sound in the background, the heart of Bagnak, 3 kotos equals 20 beats of Bagnak's heart. Have y'all been counting along? This dish looks familiar. On my planet, we have something like this, but it's not commonly eaten. This appears to be something more that I don't really know. I've seen dishes like these before. One of my crew members has told me that this is a preferred food for human orphans. I do not know why a human orphan would want such a food like this, but apparently it's quite delicious. That remains to be seen. I will taste the food. I do not know if it will agree with me or not, but I've never tried oatmeal. I have eaten earth food before, but I've not eaten oatmeal. And I know the captain is looking forward to human food. Earth human food. This appears to be cooked. I will turn the human heating device off, and we can set this aside. The warmth and humidity does feel good. The blackness is quite icy. At times things are quite cold. With the Bagnak, we can always move closer to the core. But as we get closer to the core, Bagnak's heartbeat is much louder. On some portion of the Bagnak, its heartbeat is almost deafening. So to this, we'll add another human food. This is called honey. Apparently, from what I've researched on human food, this honey comes from insects, small creatures that live in a hive. And they somehow collect this honey from them. I do not know the process, but apparently it's quite tasty. Also, I've collected this human earth fruit called raspberry. These look to be fairly delicious. Those taste interesting. I've had fruits is what these are called, a berry. I've had similar things on different places, but apparently you add this to this. I should probably taste this food. At first, it smells strongly of the insect juice, the honey. I do not smell the raspberries. It tastes sweet, but this is not very delicious. I'm assuming it must be quite filling. so nuts at that, you Human English. Human English. It does not taste bad, but it does not taste very delicious. I would expect that human would give their orphans something more tasteful and complicated. Their lives are difficult enough. We must always take care of the orphans and ensure that they become productive members of our society. They must be looked after. So I don't know why Earth people would serve this to an orphan. Certainly I would not consider that. But apparently Earth orphans are different. Anyway, I will give this to the member of our crew and see what they think. Thank you for joining me in my first human cooking adventure. It was interesting. You know, this isn't that bad. I could have some more. Thank you for joining me, Blog the Pale. I hope you will join me for my further lessons in human cooking. If you have anything to suggest, I'm quite open to that. Captain Locks has asked me to learn to prepare 100 human dishes. I see this as a slight challenge. This oatmeal was clearly very easy to cook. If all human food is this easy, which I doubt, it will be a very short series of videos. However, I would be willing to bet that there is human food that is beyond complex. And I would love to learn to cook it. Thank you.